Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, tomorrow I'm going to grade your bell ringers then. So, what is imperialism? If in your response, detail how social Darwinism is used. No, we talked about social Darwinism yesterday. So, how is that used to explain this tense period in Western civilization? Finally, describe the importance of the Berlin Conference, 1884. Who organized the meeting, and what was the goal? All right, so right after we're done with this, I'm going to go over the game with you, the directions, and then we'll head down to the cafeteria. All right, so get in your groups, face out of it. And there should be a study hall there, so we should have some room, obviously. All fun with you guys having fun. Let's just try to keep the voices down a bit. No screaming, yelling. I'm okay with you guys talking, obviously, but. So, yeah, we'll roll the dice, try to keep it on the table, let's not throw them on the ground or anything. But it should be fun, I'll give you guys colored pencils, and, yeah, we'll get after it. All right, there you go. I'll tell you guys about the assignment that I put out yesterday. All right, just use it as a study tool. If you want to do it, great. It's going to help you out. But more or less, it's what we talked about with your gamification already. It's good review.
Good joke.
I know, I told you. Yeah, she didn't see it.
For you.
Oh, for me.
Yeah, not for me.
See, I told you. Don't believe me ever. Don't believe me ever. Ah, see? Yeah. I told you, Jenna. Told you she needed a saving.
Open it?
Yeah, money. Honey,
Have some of that.
sorry, no. I had to buy her lunch for one day. All right, here we go. So, imperialism, what does it mean? What does imperialism mean? Jason, I appreciate it. Someone else. Thank you. Mina, go ahead.
The practice of extending a country's power over other nations, often through military and economic force.
All right, good. So, in other words, right, this is a bigger, stronger, more innovative country, right? They have a stronger military, okay? If they want something that this smaller country or territory has, they go and get it. Right? They want to take this land for resources, materials, okay? They will also want to take it for establishing military bases, expanding their sphere of influence. So yeah, with imperialism, if you're bigger, you're stronger, you want something that, let's say this smaller country or territory has, you go in and take it, right? Through force. All right, so with imperialism, I talked about an example yesterday with my older brother. All right, if I was playing video games, he wanted to play the video game, he beat me up and take it. It is what it is. Well, then you got a comb thrown at him, right? Airbrush? Okay.
He gave me flowers when I said, why did you tell Mr. Goldman that I do a call? I didn't. He told me a call.
Well, she's like, I don't remember throwing that at her. I threw a bunch of stuff at her, but not I don't. Oh, okay. So anyway, you guys get the gist, right? If you have an older brother or sibling, I'm sure you know how this works. Anyway, this was compared to as the time, right, with the with social Darwinism, right? So with social Darwinism, what does that mean? What is social Darwinism? Naomi, go ahead.
Survival.
Yeah, good, right? So as all these countries are evolving, adapting, right, modernizing through this industrial revolution, they're adapting their militaries, okay? Again, Germany as a unified, they did so through what and what? What was that again? Bismarck said, Brody? Yeah, blood and iron, good job. So through these smaller wars, again, they didn't want a big, massive conflict. They didn't want to see a continental wide war, but yeah, so with these conflicts, Germany is becoming stronger and stronger. They're becoming more innovative. You good, Wyatt? Okay. All right, so with that, France has got to build up their military. They got to innovate. Great Britain's got to build up their military and innovate, right? And it just continues on with this really great competition, right? These countries are flexing their muscles at each other, so to speak. Just sooner or later, it's going to crack. The only thing holding together is that what? What was that Congress again? What was that? Luna? Yeah, Congress of Vienna. It's bending. It's about ready to break. But through action with the Iron Chancellor, okay, he's holding it together again, right? He's doing his best to try to hold the pieces together. All right, so with social Darwinism, again, they compare the idea of Darwin's theory of evolution, where organisms, right, when it comes to animals, they evolve over time to survive in their surroundings. The countries here in Europe, they're doing the same thing. The United States is that other country, right? We are doing the exact same thing too, just in a different hemisphere, right? We're expanding past our own borders. We're taking over territories for resources, materials, and establishing military bases. Right? It's not just these European countries, but mainly that, right? That's what we're going to focus on here today. Okay. Real quick, the Berlin Conference, last thing here. What was the Berlin Conference? All right, this is what you're going to simulate today. Battle, was that a hand? No? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, good. Who led the conference? Who led it? What's this guy's name? We talked about it quite a bit. Oh, Adam got it. Yeah, Otto von Bismarck. Good job. The Iron Chancellor. Who else would have done it, right? This guy is a strong leader. He's a great statesman, right? He avoided this massive war from breaking out with, obviously the smaller wars you have with Austria, Denmark, and France, right? He was great. He was cunning. He was smart, and he could reach across the aisle. What idea of politics did he use again? Common sense politics. What was that called again? Just advance the nation. Go ahead. Realpolitik. Good job. Good. All right. So he held a conference here in Berlin, Germany. Right, so Berlin is the capital of Germany. Right, so if you guys didn't know that, there you go. All right, with that conference, a lot of these European officials come to meet. And they discuss how they're going to expand, right? Where are they going to? They're going to Africa, right? Africa is rich with resources. It's massive. It's one of the biggest continents, right? When you think of land mass and resources. Okay, so Europe is limited to what they got. So as Europe is looking to expand, they want what Africa has. Okay, and is there any resistance? Not really, not really. You'll find out there is some, right? But in all reality, it's just European countries duking it out against one another. Okay, so Berlin Conference, they're trying to keep peace. That's the main goal. It's like, hey, as we're evolving here, as we're all adapting, as we're involving ourselves in Africa and claiming these resources, the world's only so big. We're going to butt heads sooner or later, right? We need to prevent a large scale war from happening, right? But Bismarck with this conference prevents it from happening. Yeah, we know World War I is coming. It's about ready to crack. But, right, with this conference, this prevents it for a little bit. It pushes it down the road a bit, kicks it down the road a bit. All right, so yesterday, I know I zoomed through it pretty quick, but real quick, with imperialism, okay, the main idea here is the domination with culture, politics, and economics. These countries in Europe, the United States, right, even at this time, as they're expanding to these other lands, right, yeah, they're colonizing, but it's not like they're putting a lot of finances or a lot of assets into it. More or less, they're doing what? What are they doing with these are versions of economies, an idea of an economy, where you're taking the resources from these territories and applying it to your own. What is that called? You're taking it, I don't want to give it away here because the term says it. Naomi? Yeah, extractive economies. Good job. So you're using your military to your advantage. Okay, you're extracting the resources like rubber, gold, silver, oil, coal from these areas and applying it to your own. Right? Again, you're taking your culture there, right? You're taking your economics. Okay, in other words, you're Americanizing, right? As America's going to these places, they're Americanizing these territories. Right? They're going to speak the language. They're going to adopt the culture. Right? Is this forced? Yeah, it is. Sometimes, maybe not always. But also, what are they doing? Okay, the biggest thing here is, again, new resources. Right? Again, resources is a big part of it. I already talked about a bunch of them. Ports around the world. So as you're expanding to other places, you're expanding your sphere of influence. I didn't have that term yet. I'll put it out tomorrow. Or no, probably on Monday, right? No, you're not in school Monday. Tuesday. Look at that. You guys are off Monday. Isn't it? Oh, cool. I think Brent wants to see the event from Monday too. So anyway, ports around the world, military bases. Right now you can protect yourself from further reaches. Right now you have a shield, so to speak, right, to protect your mainland. Right, missionaries, all right, religion's not going away. And a lot of times, right, for a lot of these representatives in Congress for the United States, they're going to say, hey, we're going there to spread Christianity. That's what we're doing. So that people can get behind it. They're like, yeah, we should go there. We should go to Hawaii, right? We should go to the Caribbean islands, right? We should go to the Philippines. Why? Because they're spreading Christianity, right? That's a great thing. In all reality, is that the main reason we're going there? No, it's not. We want resources. We want to put a military base there, but we're hiding behind religion, right? Yeah, there are missionaries going there, sure, but it's not the main focus. Right? Again, survival of the fittest, like we just talked about, social Darwinism. All right, there we go. So I'm going to explain the game real quick, and then we're going to go down and play. Again, we won't finish it today. We'll continue it on tomorrow. All right, here's the game. So we're going to do, everybody please pay attention. I'm only going to explain the directions once. So when we get out there, I'll walk around and help you, sure. But if you just pay attention here, you can hit the ground running with it. All right, so you're going to be divided up. I know it says 3 or 4, but it's better if you have more. So I think groups of 5 would be great, right? If we do have 4, whatever, right? We could have a 6. That would be awesome too. All right, so what we're going to do is pick a country. So a person in each group, right? We'll pick a country. So one person will be Great Britain. One person will be Germany. One person will be Spain, so on and so forth. You guys got it? All right, so as you get in your groups, you're going to pick what country you want to be. All right, then you got to pick a color that associates with that country. So if you're Great Britain, you want to be blue, fine. You're going to use a blue color pencil. All right, that's important for the key, obviously, but as you're taking over territories, you're going to color in these territories of Africa, right? That's going to be associated with your country, who you are, right? The more you get, the better, right? And we'll talk about that here soon. All right, next thing. So when you're rolling the dice, Okay, so as you are competing against each other for a territory, there's going to be a list of them, a long list. Pay attention. All right, a long list. So you're going to start with the first one. You're going to all roll the dice, and whoever gets the higher number, it has to be a 6, 5, or 4. Anything lower than that, let's say the whole group rolls lower than a 4. Let's say you get a 1, 2, or 3. All right, then it'll be independent. This won't happen often. Right? If it's independent, you can just write independent or an I, let's say, in the territory slot. And then you leave it white. You leave it blank, right? You don't color it in on the map, right? Again, that won't happen a lot. It shouldn't happen a lot. If it does, well, chances are you're not doing it right. Okay, but when your guys are competing, you're going to roll the dice. It has to be a 6, 5, or 4. Whoever has the highest number, right? Let's say, Elena, you get a 6, right? Braden, you get a 5, right? Obviously, Elena has a higher number. She wins. She gets the territory. All right. So she will put, you can even just put your color there. You don't even have to write the country name. Just put the color, swipe it where the territory is, go to the map, color it in, and you move on to the next territory. All right. Let's say you're rolling it. Okay. And Blake and Cade, you guys both roll 6. Everybody else is lower than that. All right. That means you guys are at war. All right. So everybody else can't compete for it because they're lower than the highest numbers. So Blake and Cade will roll again. Whoever gets the highest number there wins the territory. Now listen, whoever loses, that means you lose the war, right? The mini battle, I guess you could say, right? It's not a large scale war, but you lose the war, right? That means you got to sit out for the next territory. You can't compete for it, right? That means you got to bring more troops from Europe down to help you out. Does that make sense? Okay. Is there any questions? Okay, should be fun. All right, here's what it looks like. Like I mentioned, you can just put your color swipe, right? Let's say you're Great Britain, you're blue. You want to put a blue swipe here. It keeps the game moving a little bit quicker, right? And then you can go right down to the map, find where the Belgian Congo is. Boom, right here. It's a big one. It's a big one, right? You color that in. Great. All right, when we get to the end, which we'll do that for tomorrow, there's going to be a number beside each territory. You're going to add up the numbers for your country, and whoever has the highest number wins the game. Okay? Lastly, there are questions which you guys can do in a group together. Right after you're all said and done with the game, just fill out the questions here, and we'll have a discussion about it tomorrow to summarize it all up. All right? Perfect. Let's go. If you guys want to take your stuff with you, you can.